Hey everyone, how's it going? So last time we made it load the posts, but at the moment it's just loading every post, whereas we actually only want to load the posts posted by the person whose profile we're on. So we are now passing this data through in our Ajax call, so the posted by object, but we aren't doing anything with it, of course. So let's go back to posts.js. Do I have it open anymore? I don't think I do. Posts.js. So this roots API file. And let's add some code to here to actually take that and do something with it. So right at the top, I'm going to say var search object equals, and we'll set this as rec.query. Now what this means is search object will contain the data that's passed in. So right here where we pass in this, this will be the value of search object. So we're starting out by setting it as that, and then underneath that, we're going to just handle this. Now, we can just take this and pass it into our getPost function. If you see right here, we're passing in an empty object right now, and that's because in our getPost function, we set it up to pass in a filter, which allows us to filter the post that we get. So one of the filters we want is obviously to filter by who posted it. So for now we'll just pass in this search object right there like that. The reason we've put it in a variable like this is because later on when we come to do other things, we'll modify this. We'll say like search object dot and then some other filter right there. So that's why we put it in its own object, but I think for now we can just pass it in like that and this will be fine. So if I restart the server, we might see posts only from this user now. So go back to here and let's log in. Let's go to there. I'll go to my own page. I should only see my posts, which I do. So we're only seeing posts by us now. And if I go to Ash Ketchup, I should only see posts by Ash Ketchup. So the filter's already working. I mean, how easy was that as well? So yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I said, we will do some more filtering there for other things, but for now, this is good because it gives us all the posts from that user. We do though want to specify whether it's a reply or not, because on the profile page in this post tab, we don't want to include the replies there because we have a separate tab for replies. This is the same thing that Twitter does, so we'll do the same thing. We aren't going to include replies on this post tab. Now, how do we do that? Well, we need to pass another value in here that specifies not to include replies. So we'll go back to profile.js and we'll put a comma after this and we'll say is reply and then set that to false. Alright, so that's good. And then inside posts.js. So currently search object will contain both of those values. It will contain posted by as this and then is reply false. Now we don't want to pass in the is reply field in there because we can't filter with that. It'll get down to here and it'll try and filter and find a post where is reply is false. But of course, if you look in the post schema, there's no is reply field here. There's only a reply to part. We don't have an is reply value, so that won't be any good for us. In fact, just to show you, if I refresh the page, I think it'll. Oh, that's the wrong site. I think if I refresh the page, it'll just not load anything. So yeah, nothing to show. So we need to actually handle that here. So we'll say underneath there if and then search object dot is reply. Is not equal to undefined. It means that the is reply property does exist, so it was passed into this request. And in that case, what we want to do is we will first check whether they've passed in true or false, because they may be specifying is reply true or is reply false. So we're going to say var is reply equals and search. Man, I'm terrible at typing. Search object dot is reply equals to true. So if it's true, this will be true. If it's not true, it will be false. Now what we're going to do then is add a filter to this search object that we can use. So we're going to add one that will be recognized down here. Now, like I said, there's no is reply value in the schema. There's no is reply field here, but we do have this reply to. So basically, we're just going to find any of the posts which have this reply to property. So any post which that field exists. And the way we do that is by saying search, we'll modify this search object and say search obj dot reply to equals, and inside there we're going to put curly brackets, and we'll say $exists colon and then is reply. So what we've just done is we've said we're going to filter based on the reply to field. We're going to use the MongoDB operator right here for exists, and basically this will just return whether this field exists or not. So we're saying where the search object exists. Well, it might say where it doesn't exist. It's dependent on this value here. So if is reply is true, it will be where reply to exists. If is reply is false, it will be where reply to doesn't exist. Okay. And then of course there's one more thing to do though before we're good and ready, and that's to remove the is reply field, because like I said, the is reply field doesn't exist in the schema, so at the moment it will just carry on and it's still there, so it will return nothing. So what we want to do is remove that is reply field from here. Now that we've used it and we've processed it, let's just get rid of it. So we'll say delete and then search obj dot is reply. Now this is just how you delete a property from a JavaScript object. So we're essentially taking the is reply property and getting rid of it. So now the search object will only have the two fields that we do want to filter on. And just to make sure you see what that's like, we can just console.log search obj like that. If I save that, I will restart the server and we should see something now. So if I refresh this and log in and then go to my own profile, we're not seeing our replies, so it's worked. If I go back to here, you should see what it logged. So you can see after we've deleted it and we've processed it, search object only contains posted by as that, and then reply to exists false. Now, just to try this a step further, I can set this to true and just make sure that we only see replies now. And we do reply, reply, reply. So we've essentially done what we need on the replies tab. All we're going to do is take that now and use true there. But I'll change this back to false because on the post tab we don't want to show the replies. So yeah, that's it. It works.